But they drink so much that they even forget to vote the next day because they are not able to get up. So it is just funny. Bhai, you should anyways be optimizing it. You have been elected to power because the previous government was not performing well. People have elected you to power to do this optimization to begin with. So you should be sensible with budget. In Tamil Nadu recently, there was an independent politician who made the following announcements that I'm going to distribute gold. I'm going to distribute houses with swimming pool. I'm going to distribute robots. I'm going to distribute this and that. And he promised sun and moon and earth. And then he was questioned that, hey, are you serious? Then he said that, no, I'm just trying to make people aware about the ills of freebie politics in India. So I thought that I will shoot a video also on this topic. This is a super important video simply because of the viewpoint that a lot of taxpayers' money goes into this. How? I will show that to you in this video through a case study. So there are 3 specific points that we are going to discuss today. What exactly is the nature of freebie politics in India? Second, I'm going to pick a case study and I'm going to show it to you and prove it to you that who actually pays for this freebie politics. And then I will propose a better solution that can be implemented to change the solution. 2 important set of disclaimers. First and foremost, this video is likely to be taken down. So kindly support it by at least liking the video. If you can share it with your friends, it will help such videos get out to more people and will make them aware of the situation that is existing in this country. Second key point, this is not a political attack on any political party because many people say that Akshat, you are anti-BJP, you are anti-Congress, you are anti-AAP, this, that. No, I'm anti-bad logic and let me prove it to you by showing you 3 pictures. First comes from Congress that Congress distributed a series of freebies in their own election campaigns during Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's campaign. Second picture comes from Mr. Modi's campaign where 50,000 saris were distributed. Third comes from regional politics in Telangana where pick up and drop facilities were started, free food was distributed, where people can come and vote for their favorite party that actually made all the arrangements. So the bottom line is, and I will use a Hindi muhavra here which goes something like this, that everyone is naked in this hammam. You can translate it and put it in the comment box so that everyone understands what I'm trying to say. Also, there are 0 sponsors for this video because such videos cannot be sponsored by anyone. So you could consider my company, which is Wisdom Hatch, as the official sponsor of this video, and you can go and check out our website. We make really good financial courses and management consulting and business related courses. So you can go and check out our website. So let us get the discussion started by building an overview of freebie politics in India. And there are 4 key points and critical points that you need to understand. So first and foremost, what precisely is freebie politics? It simply means that politicians come out usually before the elections, they distribute a series of really weird things. Sometimes it's weird, sometimes it's really funny also. They distribute like cycle, they distribute like chewing gums, they distribute like mixer grinders, they distribute like saris, they distribute alcohols, which is very, very prominent across states like Madhya Pradesh and UP. So it is just madness. In case you are aware of some really weird, funny items, do comment below. I would love to read your commentary on what type of freebie items you consider to be super funny. So this is what freebie politics is. I will not bore you with the details. You understand what freebie politics is. Second key point, that do people in India get influenced due to this freebie economics? And there is a joke in Madhya Pradesh that goes something like this, that political parties distribute a lot of alcohol. Then people who drink that alcohol, they become like super happy. They say that, you know what, we'll vote for you, all that stuff. But they drink so much that they even forget to vote the next day because they are not able to get up. So it is just funny. But can we conclude that freebie politics is not working in India? The answer is no. Freebie politics works like a charm. Actually, there is no quantitative data here because such studies would not be commissioned and there would be no one supporting such studies. But we can draw parallel arguments here. So this snippet comes from Mr. Dan Ariely, who is an economist. He's a wonderful professor at Duke University. He wrote a very good book called as Predictably Irrational, and you should definitely read it. So he says that people change their behavioral patterns and are more willing to comply when something free comes along. Free is a powerful emotional trigger that often is irresistible. Now, this is a very, very important point. Of course, we can't quantify it, the extent to which it prevails. But the bottom line is that people get influenced through free stuff. Now, let's talk about who pays for this freebie. So let me give you a very quick analysis there, and then I will do a detailed case study on it. Now, according to Nobel laureate Milton Friedman, he talks in his book that there is no such thing as a free lunch. There is no existence of freebie in economics. Everything has to be paid by taxes, if not today or tomorrow, then the day after, because eventually someone has to bear the cost of supposedly free giveaways. This is a very, very important point, and you should feel a little bit sad because every time freebies are doled out, one way or the other, it is coming out of your pocket. Can I show you the data? Definitely. I will show you the data also in the case study I'm going to discuss. But very quickly, let us also touch upon Supreme Court's viewpoint on this. So Supreme Court has recently said that political parties competing with each other to announce freebies and dole-outs during election campaign has the potential to upset states' finance and vitiate free and fair polls. This is again a very important revelation. So this brings us to fourth and final point about freebie economics, that is it illegal to distribute freebie? Why is it that Supreme Court or Election Commission or government does not do anything around it? The simple answer is that there are vested interests at play. So people in power feel that they will be able to use the state machinery in order to execute this freebie politics more effectively and forever stay in power. So this is the overall essence. And again, there are a few statements that have been made by Election Commission and Supreme Court. So this is a very important statement. So I will put it up here. So basically this statement here shows the helplessness of EC or Election Commission in India. They told the Supreme Court that offering freebies either before or after election is a policy decision of a political party and it cannot regulate state policies and decisions taken by the parties. So there is no end to this freebie economics that is being played out at scale. We understand very easily what the game behind the curtain is. Everyone understands it. So no one is able to speak up and present an independent analysis here, but I will still spell it out for you so that we are on the same page as to how freebie politics is being used in India to win elections. So here is what the entire action plan looks like. So step one for any political party, again, not taking names here. Now a lot of people supporting supreme leaders here will get confused that Akshat, why are you not naming some leader? We could have easily thrown you under the bus saying that you are XYZ political party supporter. No, I'm not any political party supporter, and I'm showing you with facts actions of several political parties here. So first and foremost, the action plan for any political party is raise money, and majority of the money that they get is through corporate donations. So this is point number one. Corporate means big companies. They give political parties the money to go win the election. Now, how do they win the election? They distribute mixer grinder, food, alcohol, whatnot, right? So this is step two. Step three is that by distributing more and more stuff and goodies, you are able to win the election. Once you win the elections, what do you do out? You go and favor back these corporates. Now, I will not take names here of specific corporates, but the bottom line is that there are several corporates that get easier access to debt, very cheap access to debt. Debt is literally money taken from public sector banks. There have been a series of people who took cheap loans from public sector banks. Now they have been well settled in UK and they are not being brought back in India, and neither will they be brought back in India. So it is just a political gimmick that a lot of parties say that, you know what, whoever ran away to the UK after defrauding the public, we will bring them back. No, it has not been done and it is unlikely to get done. Now comes the fifth and final step, that you go back and repeat this cycle and do thuggery after every 4 or 5 years whenever elections are there. So this is the basic bottom line. Now I understand that this might hurt the sentiments of a lot of people because I spoke against so many political parties, but this is a fact. I am very happy to hear counter arguments. I am not making personal insinuations against any political party. This is a systemic flaw, and if there is one reason why we have this systemic flaw, it is because of the fact that political funding in India is not transparent. What do I mean by that? And can I show you some data? Yes, I can show you that. Now, there are statutory provisions when it comes to raising money for political parties. Now, one of the key things that you will read here is section 29C, and it says that the RPA, or that Representation of People Act, mandates political parties to declare donation in excess of 20,000 rupees. Such a declaration is made by making a report and submitting to the EC. Failure to do so disentitles a party from tax relief under the Income Tax Act. Okay, great. They are getting crores and crores in political donation and they will not get tax benefits. So as a result, what do major political parties do? So this is BJP Congress. They continue to default in filing income audit reports. So this is the reality of freebie politics. Now, had it been just a politics or a party related issue, I would not have brought this topic up on this channel. This impacts you and me, and this impacts our financial health. So therefore, I am now going to explain it to you systematically, the case of Punjab AAP politics and how they are distributing freebie and how that is a very dangerous thing to do. So I'm going to again quote facts. I'm sorry if it hurts someone's sentiment. The idea is not to criticize a political party, but use the recent election that happened in Punjab as a case study. Now, here are some of the key facts associated with the recently concluded Punjab election. So first and foremost, AAP, which is a political party that won the Punjab election, they came out with the announcement that, okay, 300 units of free electricity is going to be doled out to everyone in Punjab, and 1,000 rupee per month for every women aged 18 and above will be given if they are voted to power. And guess what? They actually came to power. So let us analyze the second fact that, okay, they are distributing this 300 units of electricity. Is 300 units of electricity good, bad? Is it average? How much is it exactly? So you can look at the data by Council of Energy, Environment and Water. And what you will find out is that the average usage in May of 2022 per day was 10 units household. This was the unit. So if you multiply it by 30, it comes out to be roughly 300 units. So this is the average rebate that they are giving. So it's not as if that they are just subsidizing one segment of the population. This level of power usage in Punjab would be average power usage. So this is a fairly big number to compensate. So can we quantify that how much would the subsidy bill will rise in Punjab, right? Because they are providing so much of free stuff now, there will be cost associated with it. Someone needs to pay that. How much bill will be increased now? So there was a study that was done and it came out with an estimate that roughly 5,000 crore of additional burden will come on taxpayer, so to say. Why taxpayer? I'll explain that in a minute. But how much is 5,000 rupee as per Punjab budget? So if you look at last year Punjab's revenue collection numbers, it was roughly 25,000 crores. Now the subsidy bill will rise by 5,000 crores. So that is 1/5. So 20% bill in Punjab will rise now. Why? Because of subsidy. Now comes the interesting question that where is this 20% additional money going to come from? So first option is that the state government in Punjab will optimize for cost. So for example, when a company is undertaking a lot of expenses, what do they look for? They will look for ways to optimize their operation. For example, instead of having a workforce of 100 people, they might cut down their workforce to 80. They might shut down 1 or 2 factories. They might wind up 1 or 2 loss-making projects. So that is called as cost optimization. Now every state can also do it. So the argument could be made that, you know what, we are providing this free electricity, but we are going to optimize it. And that is the argument that a lot of political parties make. Bhai, you should anyways be optimizing it. You have been elected to power because the previous government was not performing well. People have elected you to power to do this optimization to begin with. So you should be sensible with budget. This is not a justifiable argument that, you know what, previous government was also spending 100 rupees. We will continue to spend 100 rupees, but we'll somehow make room for this 20 rupees of freebie that we are giving. No, that argument does not make sense. Second argument comes from political funds. Now, if you yourself think that if corporates are donating money to any political party and if the political party is using money of that corporate, they have to go back and dole out favors. Now, let's say that 5,000 crore of additional chanda has been taken by the government through corporates. Would corporates not expect some kind of kickback? So we often get to see allocation of land at very inexpensive prices. We see a lot of corporates get very easy money, cheap debt, whatnot, right? So this is the second key thing. Again, this is a bad situation. Third is the only viable option that, okay, since additional money has to be raised, one way or the other, more taxes are going to be levied on people like you and me. And that is the only viable option left. And let me prove this point to you by taking you back to 2015, where there was a scheme that was launched by the central government and it was called as the Uday scheme, UDAY. So Uday scheme basically said that power companies are undertaking a lot of losses. They are going into losses. They are taking so much debt. They are not able to supply electricity at efficient prices. But this is a very important core segment of the economy because people cannot survive without power. So what we need to do is that we need to subsidize these power companies. Now, how do these power companies get subsidy? So they got subsidy with the government launching something called as Uday bonds. So what was the mechanism behind launching these Uday bonds? The mechanism is fairly simple, that whenever the government goes and sells these bonds in the market, they get certain amount of money. Then they pick this money and give it to power companies, which become super happy because they are getting some money and they are able to offset some of their losses. But if you ask yourself the question that who is actually buying this bond? So here is the entire breakup of subscription, and what you would see is that roughly 7,000 crore of this debt was purchased by mutual funds. Roughly 11,848 crores was purchased by LIC. Roughly 4,300 crores was purchased by EPFO, that is Employee Provident Fund Organization. Now, if you consider LIC, EPFO, these are publicly listed companies and they should be investing in good assets. They should not be investing public's money in bad assets. Now, let us quickly check what was the rate of return offered for Uday bonds compared to other publicly listed bonds. So here is a very interesting snippet, and it says the bonds issued by the state government under Uday scheme to revive loss-making power distribution companies will ironically pay a lower interest or coupon than state development loans. So if you compare it to similar instruments, a large chunk of money was invested in these Uday bonds despite these bonds paying poorly. Now, of course, when government launches such schemes, they are not going to say that, you know what, that we are going to offer this free power to people and after 5 years we are going to levy even more taxes and we are going to waste your money in order to offset that earlier subsidy that we had announced to win elections. So this is the reality. Now, the funny part about Uday scheme is that why was it started? It was started to offset the losses of Discom. Now, with Punjab coming up with these type of schemes where the government will take a lot of power from power companies and subsidize it for people. Now, as a result, what has started to happen is, and take a look at this chart, that these Discom companies have again started to go back in loss. So you were indirectly made to invest in these Discom companies. Now they are back again running in losses. What do you think is going to happen after 5 years? Again, there will be another set of bonds that will be issued. We again will subsidize this. So this is how the taxpayers' wealth is actually eroded. Now you would say, Akshat, you are just pointing to problems. Is there like even a solution here? Because you know what? India is a growing nation. People need free stuff. We are not that rich. So what is wrong in terms of subsidies, especially if there is no other better mechanism that can be built? So actually there is a wonderful mechanism that can be built and it is called as universal basic income. Now what is the mechanics behind universal basic income? It simply says that every citizen in India, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, gender, whatnot, they should be getting a basic survivable income. So that is the logic behind universal basic income. It's a very simple mechanics that every citizen in India should get access to certain amount of money. That's the logic behind universal basic income. A lot of countries have successfully adopted and executed this model. It has worked out really well for them. Now comes the obvious question that can universal basic income be implemented in a country like India? Because our population is huge. But again, our purchasing power parity in India is very high. So if you keep that point in mind and if you study the numbers, then universal basic income can be executed in India. So here is a quick snippet for you that how much money do we spend on our public welfare schemes. For example, we are running Manrega. We are running a bunch of other different high expenditure public schemes. There is a lot of bureaucracy that is involved in terms of distributing these welfare schemes, that so many offices, government panchayat office, this, that is built, whatnot. And a series of people have been deployed in terms of executing these schemes. Do you really need it if everyone is getting universal basic income? The answer then becomes no. That if everyone is getting access to basic income, then probably we don't need to run these public welfare schemes, so to say. But why do we run it? Because it becomes a great advertisement for the government in power to put their face across, build more marketing material, so on and so forth. Now comes the third related question that many of you would say that, Akshat, if everyone is getting money in India, for example, you also start getting some basic income from the government. So don't you think that that is unfair? Why should you be paid? Actually, there is a wonderful solution to this problem that you can do tax restructuring to withdraw that money from affluent people. So these systems and mechanisms can be easily adopted and executed without too much of government interference. What would be the primary advantages? So there are a few key advantages which have been scientifically and statistically proven. So first and foremost, whenever you are transferring direct income to people, a lot of transgression cost, commissions cost, operation cost goes down and it actually helps the poor. There have been numerous studies by economists that have been done on it and it has been unambiguously proven that direct benefit transfer actually helps the poor the most. So UBI or Universal Basic Income is a form of a direct cash subsidy. Second key thing, that when people are getting cash in hand, they can spend it the way they want. There is no question of discretion. For example, the government will not tell you that, you know what, we are giving you mixer grinder, or we feel that people need a bicycle, so we are going to distribute that, or we feel that kids in this locality need laptops, or kids need like free Wi-Fi. No, let people make a choice. They are smart enough. They would know what to buy, what not to buy. So a lot of useless products are not distributed in form of subsidy. Again, going back to that Punjab example, now let's assume that someone traditionally uses 150 units of electricity every month. Now people are getting 300 units of electricity for free. Do you think that they are not going to unnecessarily burn 300 units of electricity now? Why? Because they are getting it for free. So this is the second key argument. Third and final argument, that if universal basic income is instituted and is scaled up, then it kills the race of this freebie. So what is happening right now is that when one political party says that we are going to distribute 1,000 crores of freebie, then what do you think is going to happen in the next election? That the opposition party will come and say that, hey, 1,500 crores of freebie is going to be distributed from our side. Then the election after that, this amount becomes 2,000 crore. Then this amount keeps going up and up and up and up. So that is the precise problem that is happening, that it leads to a very negative competition, that people cannot win on merit. They win by actually giving lucrative offers. Now it's very easy to blame the general masses here that, you know what, people just like free stuff. they will vote only when they are getting something in return, because that habit has been systematically inculcated. And through this freebie economics, people are unnecessarily getting dependent on the government. And this is a very worrying trend, because eventually it's people like you and me who will have to bear this tax burden one way or the other. Now, do you think that there is a better solution at play? Do let me know in the comment box. I would love to read your commentary, and please like and share this video with your friends. It is a fairly important video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you the next time.